This is a guide for Rogue in Baldur's Gate 3. Rogues are fantastic with using their dexterity. You're going to want them to have very high dexterity, and they're very, very good at typically ranged attacks. There are some builds where you can use melee weapons, uh, but they're mostly going to be fantastic at doing range attacks. And the reason is because for rogues, their bread and butter is this sneak attack. So they have sneak attack melee and sneak attack range, and they do the same thing. They just use your weapon. And so at level 1, you do 1d6 slashing damage on top of your weapon damage if you're able to do a sneak attack. But every 2 levels in Rogue, this 1d6 will go up an additional 1d6. So if you were level 5, this would do 3d6. If you were level 9, it would do 5d6 extra damage. So now the only way to do these sneak attacks is you have to have advantage against a target. Unless you have an ally within 1.5 meters of the target and you don't have disadvantage. So a rogue can sneak attack anybody that basically, as long as no one's by them, so they would have disadvantage, they could basically sneak attack anybody that is engaged with one of your allies. Um, so when building a rogue, again, you really want to have high dexterity. I think 14 Constitution is good enough for a rogue. I don't think you need to go to 16. Feel free if you want to. Rogues do use intelligence as their spellcasting modifier. It's not really that important unless you really want to go a specific subclass of rogue. But you do have a lot of extra points to kind of move around because you don't need strength. Because rogues, in order to use a sneak attack, especially melee, they have to be using it with, it doesn't say it here, but they need a finesse weapon. So what is a finesse weapon? Let me see if I have one out. Okay, yeah, let's grab this guy. Get out of here. Okay. So a finesse weapon, I go over finesse. It scales with your dexterity instead of your strength if your dexterity is higher. Now sneak attack will only work if you have a finesse weapon. If you do not have a finesse weapon, sneak attack will not work. So for instance, it would let me click it right here. Let's say I took and did my sword. This is not a finesse weapon at all. And you can see I can't do it. It says right here, must be wielding a finesse weapon in the main hand. So let's put that in there. Luckily, all bows are finesse. So you can always use sneak attack as long as you click in the bow. So let's level up our rogue. At level 2, it allows you to do hide, dash, and disengage using a bonus action. Usually these, for most classes, it would take a green regular action. This will let us use the orange triangle bonus action to do these things. It's a nice little bonus for us. Level 3. So now, again, we're up to level 3. So every 2 levels in Rogue, after level 1, we get to add an extra 1d6 to our sneak attack. So now our sneak attack will do weapon damage plus 2d6 now. Here's the thing, though, about Rogue. All 3 of these subclasses are just totally different in nature. The most common one is going to be Thief. People love doing Thief because you gain an additional bonus action. This could be very good with, sneaking around. We just saw that now we can use a bonus action to sneak. We can use bonus action to dash. We can use bonus action to disengage. So having 2 bonus actions around, super good. If you have 2 crossbows equipped or 2 melee weapons equipped, your offhand will always use the bonus action. So now you can attack with your offhand twice, whether it's the crossbow twice or the offhand melee weapon twice. Yeah, so if you want, Thief is very good for getting an extra bonus action, yeah. The other one, so you have Arcane Trickster. It's a combination of like a wizard and a rogue, but similar to more like the Eldritch Knight from Fighter. It's not going to learn a ton of spells. It's very niche. I don't really recommend using it. You totally could if you want. It, again, similar to Fighter, there's certain spells that I think you should get, but I wouldn't recommend it for someone who hasn't beaten the game. I think it's the worst of the three subclasses because it just doesn't do anything fantastic. There is Assassin, though. An Assassin has some really interesting things. So let's go through its sub features that it gets. In combat, you have advantage on attack rolls against creatures that haven't taken a turn yet. Okay, this is super good. So we know we can't do sneak attack unless we have advantage. You can get advantage by hiding, but Assassin Initiative here, it says, hey, the guy hasn't taken a turn in combat yet. You get advantage against him, which is awesome. So, and so if you're probably going to be going first, having high dexterity, so you have a high initiative. You'll probably go before most people will take their turn. So you'll have advantage on that first round. You'll have advantage on basically any target. Super great. On top of that, there is ambush that you have here. So any successful attack roll against a surprise creature is a critical hit. There are ways to surprise creatures. You have to when you're sneaking and not in combat and you attack a creature, they will become surprised. And then if you attack anybody that's surprised, it says right here it's a guaranteed critical hit. Assassins, I can't say that word. Anyways, this one here is it says you immediately restore your action and bonus action at the start of combat. Okay, so let's think about this. The way you set it up with an assassin, you start off by sneaking. You don't want to be in anybody's line of sight, so no one can see you. You shoot an enemy, and they are startled, they're surprised. Now, usually when someone does this and they're not an assassin, they use their action to do it. So now, when the round of combat starts, they don't get to have an action to do anything. This right here gives the assassin back his action and/or bonus action that they used. So now he can use his action again. So the way to play assassin, you sneak, you initiate combat, they're all surprised, you get your action back. Now you can do a critical hit against them as well, and you have advantage against them so you can sneak attack. It's super strong. If you want to just if you sneak around, assassin is by far and away the way to go. Super good. Now sneaking around could be a little tough with the multiplayer game, so you might want to go thief if you're going to go the rogue. We can stay as assassin. For feat, yeah, there's a few different ones you could go. So if you have an odd number of dexterity, thieves don't get medium armor. So you could do moderately armored. Depending on your race. Githyanki here, this race, they do get, I believe, medium armor proficiency. So I could actually go towards heavy armor, but I don't want to do that. Moderately armor will give you a +1 to your strength or dexterity. So if you have an odd number of dexterity, it could be good to go +1. And on top of that, there's a couple things. You can wield a shield if you have medium armor proficiency, which can also give you just more armor. And now, obviously, you can wear medium armor. At level 5, you basically get, when an attack hits you, you only take half the usual damage. So it's like you're kind of like a little tanky. Okay, they'll give you some more skills to level up as you level up. Another one here, when a spell or effect would deal half damage on a successful dexterity saving throw, it deals no damage if you succeed and only half damage if you fail. So this is a way for you to basically avoid spells. You have a chance to completely avoid the damage from them. Very good defense. At level 8 we get another feat. If you, this is definitely a time I would say, depending on what your build is going for. So if you're rogue, I think going range makes the most sense. But if you want to do a role-playing perspective, you could be a dual-wielding rogue and such. So if you're going bow, sharpshooter, and maybe you should have gone for this level 4 when you got the level 4 feat. But sharpshooter is super good. If you want to go melee, and you don't want to use a bow, dual wielder is always good. Defensive duelist is very good, and ability improvement is always good. Let's say we're going with the bow, so I'll do sharpshooter. At level 9, you'll get a subclass feature, I believe. This one lets me change appearance. Level 10. So rogues are the only class at level 10 to get another feat. So I'll move my dexterity up to 20. Now we're going to be very accurate with our bow. And then at level 11, rogues, if they're proficient with an ability, the lowest they can roll on the die is 10, which is super good. Basically kind of almost guarantees that you're not going to fail anything you're proficient in. Super good. All right, rogue level 12. Let's there's a few different routes you could go, again depending on if you're dual wielding or not. If you are dual wielding, I would say do something like defensive duelist. It'll give you some more defense. Okay, so here's the thing about rogues. Everything about them seems like they're a martial class. They are. Except, unlike all other martial classes, they do not get any extra attacks. Their big thing is sneak attack. So we have level 12, you can see here, it's going to do an extra 66 piercing damage. It's really cool. You can only use that once a turn. When you attack, you're done. So rogues by themselves, like all the way to level 12, they can be fine. But they're probably not going to be on par with some of the other damage dealers. That's why a lot of people like to make a rogue Gloomstalker Ranger. They like to split it. And really what they'll do, and I'll show you why. So I'm going to change my class. So we'll keep everything the same. And I want to let's level this up again. Let's get let's go to Ranger. Don't worry about too much favorite enemy now. Or you can do whatever you want. Doesn't matter. You want archery. Yeah, we can do this in Monk Strider like we did last time for the Ranger. Okay. So here's the thing. We have, we're 2 levels in both Ranger and Rogue. And ultimately, we really want to get to, for sure, 3 levels in both. And you want to get to level 5 with your Ranger. Because at level 5 Ranger, he will get an extra attack that the Rogue does not have that access to. Okay. So where are we getting at with this? Let's go to the Gloomstalker Ranger class. So in the other video, you're going to get that +3 bonus to initiative. On your first turn of combat, you also are going to make an attack that deals an additional 1d8 damage. Okay, so I want you to think of that. I want you to think first round of combat, you're going to make an additional attack, and it's going to deal an additional 1d8. And you're getting +3 bonus to initiative, so you're going to go first if you go Gloomstalker. Basically, you got so much initiative bonus, you're probably going to go first. Okay. Now, let's look at Rogue. And if I go to Assassin, so remember, Gloomstalker is going to get that extra attack. It deals 1d8, and you're going to get extra initiative, so you're going to probably go first. So what's the thing with Assassins again? Well, if they start off battle and the enemy is surprised, right? You know, they get their action, their bonus action at the start of combat. So no matter what they did to start the combat, they're going to get those actions back. Then now we're in the first round of combat. So let's say you sneak attack someone. It's the first round of combat now. It starts it up and they're all surprised. You're probably going to go first because you're a Gloomstalker and you got that +3 initiative. But any successful attack roll against a surprise creature is a critical hit. All the creatures are going to be surprised. And as a Gloomstalker, you get on your first turn an additional attack. So now you get to attack. Right now at level 6, per se, you could attack 2 enemies. And they're going to be crit. On top of that, anyone who hasn't gone yet, which no one has gone yet if you're going first, you get advantage against those characters. So now, not only are you critting if you hit them, but you're going to hit them because you have advantage. So what you do is you do 3 in each. Really, actually, how you would do it, I would say, is you do 5 ranger, then 3 rogue. But I wanted to show you the 3 and the 3 real quick and how they work. Now, yeah, let's just do, I'm going to actually get sharpshooter here. And then at level 5, ranger, I get my extra attack. Remember, rogue does not get this. But ranger, fighter, paladin, barbarian, monk, they all get this. Not the rogue. So rogue can be very good if you multi-class with it. So right here, I'm 5'3", ranger, rogue. If I want another feat, I can give another level to rogue, because I'll be at level 4, and I can go get, another ability improvement, move my dexterity up or something like that. And then if I want another one, I could just raise ranger all the way to level 8. If I don't care for another feat, because maybe I got my dexterity high to something else and I already have sharpshooter, maybe instead I could totally go something like fighter, get I don't know, something that does like I get action surge next round or something like that. There's some different classes you could totally multi-class with and get 3 multi-class things going. But I would definitely say at the absolute least, a 5'3" ranger rogue is incredibly powerful when you make them Gloomstalker assassin. The bonuses that they both have coincide with each other so well, and it makes it's one of the best, if not the best, multi-class in the entire game. So rogue by itself, it can be it can be good. It has some perks, especially thief, getting that extra bonus action. And again, if you wanted to, with the bonus action there, you could go for you could also, multi-class like a rogue thief with something else that uses bonus actions a lot, or needs bonus actions, or maybe a weapon that uses bonus actions a lot. Um, that the thief works really well with that. So rogues, they're not going to be as strong as your martial classes if we just level up every class to 12, but rogues are incredible for multi-classing with another class.